Hey guys, welcome back to another Dragalia Lost video. In this one I'm going to go through my sort of, just my basic idea of what I did in my first day of play to get to almost 6,000 might. This is still the first day of this account. I think the day's got about half an hour left. But yeah, just the sort of things I did because this is a new account. I was playing my one account while I was re-rolling, hoping for something better. And then when I got this account, I thought, yep, I'll stick to this and I'll use all those mistakes I made in the first account to learn and then try and get my progression as fast as I could for this one. So the basic thing you do first of all is you'll go through the quest. If you haven't played the game before, I highly recommend, if you like story, actually playing through it slowly, reading it. That's what I did on my first account, and I really enjoyed the storyline and all that. On this one I was able to do it quick because I just ignored the whole story, so skipped through everything. But it's definitely a good story, so check that out if you're into that sort of thing. If not, you can just skip through it all again. So what I did was I did the story map basically right through until you unlock everything in the upgrade section and the castle. So the main thing I wanted to focus on was, after my other account, I knew I wanted to upgrade the castle as quick as I could, just because to craft weapons, better weapons, you need to improve this building here, which is the smithy, and to do that you need to upgrade the level of your halidome. So to upgrade the level of this, you need, if I go to here, it says I need to be facility level 100. If you look in the top left corner, just under my my worms that do the crafting, my facility level is 53. Now this facility level goes up anytime you upgrade any one of these buildings. So my priority is to always keep checking back to make sure there's no smith worms not in use, so they're always building something, because I feel like later on that's going to be really important. So you just craft everything you get as normal, and then just keep upgrading. And the one thing I wanted to do was make sure that when I'm trying to get materials, I want to make sure I always have enough materials that I can, as soon as the smith worm finishes, I can start upgrading something else straight away. So I have actually bought 2 extra smith worms. I think the first one was about 200, the second one was 400. And like, it's not cheap. The next one I think is really expensive. It goes up to about 700 wormites. So they get expensive. 4's pretty good early on, like in the first sort of few hours of the game. Everything's taking 30 seconds to a minute to build, so 2's pretty good because you're cycling through it pretty quick. But eventually I just bit the bullet and bought an extra couple. That's the main part there. Just always keep farming stuff to get the what you need to be upgrading all the time in the castle. The next thing is, like I said, you work through the storyline until you unlock all this stuff, and then you can pretty much just forget about storyline. Because when I was playing through story mode on my original account, I was struggling to clear levels. It was taking me so much time. And then I realized for this account, if you just focus on these 6 things, this is basically your Bible to good progression. You want to upgrade your adventurers, upgrade your weapons, upgrade your worm prints, your dragons, and do your mana circles. Crafting is how you get your weapons. So when I unlocked adventurers is simple. You just, as you get potions, I forgot what they're actually called, you just keep dumping them into your characters, increasing their levels. Work on your 4 characters evenly. That's going to be your main team. So these 4 at the top are my main team. I always forget her name. Ezelith is the one I use in all solo content, so she's a bit higher because in all co-op content, so she gets all those extra levels. That's why she's a bit higher. It's ideal to keep them roughly level. That's why I like it, because it's more efficient with your resources if you level them up evenly in every aspect than to, say, upgrade her weapon to max level and then have all the others at a level 1 weapon. It applies for everything, just because your resources are more efficient when things are at low levels, so you want to bring them up evenly so that you're gaining that might at the same time. So yeah, that's the character one. Obviously, just they gain levels. That's the gist of it. I must say I had it easy because this account I did start this account on a Sunday. So when we look at the elemental dungeons, I actually had them all unlocked for me. So the elemental ruins, I could run all of them. During the normal week, you don't actually get to run them all. So that's where you might trip up a bit when we're looking at this next thing, which is going to be the the mana circle. So the mana circle is awesome to do. I'll go into a character. You can see all my guys are at level 20. My last dude here, he's only at 19, just because I don't have the resources yet for his last skill upgrade here. I just haven't got those resources yet, but it's fairly easy to get every other skill up to this point, no matter where you are. You can get, we'll jump into another character quickly just to show you what they actually cost, because they're not too bad. I'll jump into her because I'm going to start building her for raids, because we've got the fire raid coming up, so we need the water units. But all these, they just cost mana. You get mana just given to you, basically. And then this upgrade here is only 7 of the very small essence, which is easy to get through the story mode. If you just play those story mode levels, you'll eventually get 7 of these. So that's easy to upgrade. Then you go up to the next level, and everything else is fairly easy except for this one. So that's the extra skill. But besides that, you should be able to get your 4 core units to 19 on the mana circle pretty easily. So that's a big one. Like I said, just get them all there. Like, do the first level for all of them, then do the next level for all of them. And you're just spending your resources more wisely. The next thing we look at in upgrades is crafting. So basically, as soon as I unlocked crafting, it took me a little bit of just playing maps to get more resources. But once I had the resources, what I went in, work out what your main 4 characters, what weapons they use, and then just slap on, you go craft, and then I'd create 5 of each of them. And then once you've created those 5, you can go to, I'm not worried about enhancing yet. I can touch on enhancing, but for this early stage, I just wanted to get my strength up there so I could get through more content. So craft 5 of them, and then you go unbind. And for instance, we'll use this one as an example. If you want to unbind, it goes through it in the tutorial. You just select the other 4, unbind, and then you've got the max level of 40, and then you just basically grind up those levels. Just feed the other weapons to them. I'm not sure if feeding weapons is the most efficient. I think you can sell weapons. Don't quote me on this. That's what I did. I just fed weapons. It's still early days, so I'm not an expert at this. This is just what I did. So I just found that for some things in crafting, when you want to power up the whetstones, I think it's some upgrades in the castle and stuff like that require whetstones. So I didn't really want to waste these whetstones because I don't have many of them. So I'm just saving them and using weapons for the power-ups. Like I said, I'm not sure if that's 100% the right way to go, but that's what I was doing. Then the next thing, the worm prints. If you pay to play, this account is free to play. I haven't spent a cent. So if you're pay to play, you'll probably have an easier time upgrading worm prints, just because you'll have a lot more other worm prints to upgrade with. But yeah, this one I just basically fed worm prints to worm prints and got my 4 best ones to the highest level I could. So that's where they're at, and they just sit there. So I probably, in hindsight, should have unbound one because I got 2 dupes there. But you know, I did what I did, and it got me to where I am. So we'll leave it at that. The next one is your dragon. So this is another thing you want the castle for. Is the castle, you've got the plant that generates dragon food. So that's how you level up your dragons. Also, make sure you farm enough gold to be able to feed all these gifts to your dragon. It's pretty easy to get the coins in this game. You just go into the dungeon that drops it, and you get plenty from that. So that's all I'd be looking at doing, just getting those coins and making sure that you do feed all of these, because they do give you food as well to level up your dragons. And the other thing they do give is, I've probably done it wrong here. I got excited with my 5-star dragon that I put him here, but I should have had probably a fire dragon here because I got 2 fire units in my main team, and they give you like upgrade material for their element. So the dark material I'm getting is pretty useless for me right now, but yeah, I was just excited. I finally got I got a Nat 5 dragon and a Nat 5 character in one, so that's what I was doing there. But yeah, then you just feed your dragons all that gear and get them all the good stuff. Like I said, it's always about looking at what you need and then running the dungeons that you need to get it from. The best way to do it is, I found, I was just going through whatever I needed to run. So if I needed gold, I'd go into fortune. Avenue of Power, I did a little bit early just to get some early levels into my characters. I haven't really looked into it too much after that. I feel like getting all that other stuff done was more important to me than just the flat out level of the character, especially like the mana circle and stuff like that. So then when you go to the mana circle and you want to get that stuff, obviously these elemental ruins, Unfortunately, they won't be all unlocked every day, so you might have to play through the scenarios to get your your essences as such to upgrade them. But yeah, I was lucky. But like I said, you can get to 19 on that mana circle pretty easily. And then the other thing is, if you really want that extra skill on the second tier of the mana circle, you can do the Dragon Trials. Actually, I think the Dragon Trials unlock after you unlock all the other stuff. So the Dragon Trials you really want to unlock. I think you have to progress a little bit further through the campaign to get there. So that's the other big thing. And then you can always just check what they drop here. And those are those, like, so for instance, that's what I needed for the skill up to get the new skill on my characters and stuff like that. So also daily bonuses on these ones, it's shared between all the elements. So choose carefully. Obviously, if you want to do a light or a dark, you're going to have to unlock the light and dark section. So do chapter 4 and 5 of the campaign. I don't have any light and dark, so I'm not too stressed about it at this stage. My main idea behind this was, that's pretty much exactly what I did to get my team to where it is now. There's nothing else to it. Just look at those 6 things and just work towards what you can work towards in them. But the reason I did this is because it's the weekend. I had some time to actually sit down, manually play it, do a lot of co-op missions. What I was saying before was I just pretty much did co-op the whole time in these dungeons, and I'd just run them, and I'd host when I had energy, and as soon as I ran out of energy, I'd just join in a game, and then basically find a room, and then by the time you've depleted your energy at these early stages and then done a couple co-op games, you're pretty much good to go. But I might cancel. Oh no, we're going. Yeah, but by the time you do that, you're pretty much good to go. And my whole idea behind this was I want to do all that stuff, get the upgrades, get my level up, because then when it's not the weekend and I can't really focus on it as much, what I learned from my other account was that trying to do the story mode when you're just around that required strength mark is really hard. So I ended up just like struggling through it on that first account. But this one, I thought I'll get my power right up there, so when I can't play manually, I can just slap that story mode on auto and just get right through it as quick as I can. You watch me derp here because I'm trying to trying to talk at the same time. But yeah, so just now what I'm going to do tomorrow, when I don't have as much time to play the game, I'm just going to hit that story mode and just auto right through it. I should get through the 4th and 5th stages pretty easily with where I'm at. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. So that's my basic tips on how to get your strength up pretty fast. There's nothing magical to it, and I'm about to die here because I'm derping hard. But yeah, there's nothing magical to it. It's just do those 6 things that you can see, and you'll get there eventually. So that's the tips, and thanks for watching another video, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.